good to be back. Hey everyone, welcome to the PC. So, I've been watching a lot of Pokemon theories recently, and I've seen what the hype is about the true identity of the Pokemon Mimikyu. Or I've seen what was the hype about the identity of Mimikyu. I'm usually a year or two behind the trends, but whatever. So there's many theories floating around out there about what Mimikyu actually is, but after doing a bunch of research, I think I have my own theory. So today we're going to find out why the Pokédex did count one Pokemon twice, but not in the way you think. Mimikyu is not Rotom, not Shuppet, but Wobbuffet. I didn't even mean that to rhyme. Shuppet, Wobbuffet, I'm just going to go with it. So how could Mimikyu be Wobbuffet? Well, first let's take a look at some of their basic info. Just from the home pages of Bulbapedia between the two, they have the exact same gender ratio, catch rate, egg group, hatch time, and leveling rate. They also have the same single digit sum, where you add up a number over and over until you get down to one digit. It's 4 for both of them, but I think that one might just be a coincidence. But still, wow, that's pretty convincing right off the bat. And while Rotom and Shuppet share some of these qualities with Mimikyu, they're not nearly as similar. And also, they don't have a footprint, and also, their eyes are all wrong. Shuppet has purple, yellow, and white eyes, and Rotom has blue and white eyes. And why are the eyes so important? Well, the Pokédex entry for Mimikyu makes it very clear that Mimikyu has black, beady eyes. And as many people believe, this is not the Wobbuffet. This is the Wobbuffet. The blue balloon-like thing is just a decoy, a facade used to distract opponents from the true creature here. Now, Pokemon has not officially confirmed this theory, but a lot of people out there believe it, including me, and the Pokédex entry is so suggestive that I think this is generally accepted by most people. For example, Wobbuffet becomes extremely aggressive if the tail is attacked and the eyes and the brain are in the tail, because the eyes of the decoy never open, etc, etc. You can see theories about this everywhere. See the link in the description if you want more evidence for this and other publications of this theory, but let's accept it as true for now. So if we accept this theory, we have two Pokemon who have the same basic info, same color as black, same exact height based on pixel measurements, both who hate sunlight, both who live in caves, and both who use a disguise or a decoy to fight for them.
Coincidence? I think not!
Now they do have different types, but we've already been introduced to Alolan Pokemon. Pokemon who are the exact same species as something else, but have a completely different type, often random or unrelated to what their original type was. I think that's what's going on here. I think Mimikyu is the Alolan form of Wobbuffet. Now I hear some of you commenting already, what about Wynaut? Doesn't the presence of Wynaut prove that Mimikyu can't be Wobbuffet? Actually, I don't think so. Like we said before, Mimikyu and Wobbuffet are part of the same egg group and can even breed with each other. In fact, that's the only way to get a Mimikyu that knows Destiny Bond outside of an event. And Mimikyu and Wynaut are two of only the 12 Pokemon capable of learning Splash through Level Up. Now, I don't know why you would want to learn Splash upon Level Up, it's a completely useless move, but that's still a very exclusive group. So these two are able to breed. I think the only thing that defines the Pokemon once it hatches out of its egg is what it chooses to use as a disguise, either a blue inflatable balloon or a rag disguised as some other Pokemon. Remove the disguises and they're the same thing. The only other problem presented with this theory was the tale that a scientist who looked under the rag of Mimikyu died of fright. Now while that is actually possible to die of fright, this myth is just that, a myth. It's a tale, it's unsubstantiated and probably isn't even true. And finally, if that isn't enough, I have one more piece of evidence, and this is the smoking gun. In the anime, Ash and Team Rocket stumble upon a Mimikyu on their journeys, and the Mimikyu decides to side with Team Rocket, not Ash, eventually letting Jessie capture it. Now, some sources state that Mimikyu is angry when it saw the Pikachu, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you think about it. See, if Mimikyu designed its disguise as a Pikachu because it was lonely and wanted to get some attention and knew that Pikachu is popular, wouldn't traveling with an actual Pikachu be the perfect way to do that? And yet, despite this, it decides to side with Team Rocket, not Ash. Why? What if it was because it saw another one of its species? What if it was because it saw Jessie's Wobbuffet and knew that that was a true companion? In fact, it's revealed on Bulbapedia that this specific Mimikyu actually hates Pikachu, which would make perfect sense if this theory was true. Think about it, Mimikyu just saw the only one of its species it's ever known, and Ash and Pikachu come up and try to take it away. And also, Ash and Pikachu are enemies of Team Rocket, and therefore enemies of Wobbuffet, a true friend.
Professor, we have some information for you.
That we do, Professor Kukui. I think you might need to change the total number of Pokemon from 802 to 801. If the original form of a Pokemon and the Alolan form don't get separate Pokédex entries, I don't think Mimikyu and Wobbuffet should either, because Mimikyu is just the Alolan Wobbuffet. Well, that's today's theory. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. If you like this video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We've restored your entertainment to full health, and we hope to see you again.